and you don't have the rubber piece.
Oh yeah, the rubber piece that makes the feeling a little better in your ear, so it's
Make
not
it
scratching all in
comfortable.
there. Yeah, scratching all up in your
Yeah,
ear and stuff. Yeah.
like them old lamb
You need
skins. Make
that
it more
comfort now. You know what I mean? We
comfortable.
need those comfort with them airbugs. You know.
Yeah, but I dropped it on the floor, and I think I
Mm,
read somewhere that's how you get the cuckoo virus, man. You
well,
dirty
catch some.
earbuds.
You
You
know,
might get.
germs is really the priority now. The spread of germs and all this other stuff. So it's like
Oh,
you
big
better
time,
toss them out, toss
big
them
time.
earbuds out, man. You know what I mean? Get a
Yeah. Did
replacement
you hear?
pair. You feel me?
Did you? What is this dude name? Did you hear John? What's his name? John Rappaport. Did you hear
John
him
Rappaport.
when he cussed
No.
y'all out for not wearing masks? Did you hear
Nah,
him?
man, I don't hear nothing. You know, I'm
You didn't
watching
hear
that
him?
news stuff, man. I don't watch that
Oh,
news stuff, man. What happened though? Tell me
no,
about
it
it.
wasn't news. No,
Tell me about it.
it wasn't. And you know what? If I can show you, damn it, I'm gonna
Okay, you can
show
show
you.
me better than you can tell me for sure
If I
enough.
can show you, because I know on this damn thing that I can somehow, because Be Live, they done took Be Live to the next level. I
Oh,
know
did
I
they?
can, yeah, I can do a desktop share.
All right,
Although,
all
you
right.
know what? You know what? I can't really do that. That's right. Because if I show you, I think his name is Michael Rapp.
My
what's his
hair
name?
look crazy. Hold on, let me try to get this tighten.
Wait a minute, hang on. He's an actor. I've seen him in movies. Man,
Oh, okay. Talking about the
he
actor
just
guy.
cut. Yeah, Michael Rapple. He
Oh,
just
Michael,
cussed
funny
me
guy, funny guy. He
out.
comedian. Yeah, comedian guy. My guy's a
Is he a
comedian.
comedian?
Yeah, he's a comedian. He's funny too.
Oh, bro, he just cussed everybody out. He said, "Y'all some dumb, silly monkeys. You need to wear your mask. Wear your
Oh
effing
yeah.
mask."
Okay.
He cussed.
Mm-hmm.
I was hilarious, man.
You know, the celebrity tag along, you know what I mean?
Oh
That, or
yeah,
the sing along, the celebrity sing along. You already know how it goes, man. To get everybody in the population to fall in line, get their favorite people to make sure they sing along to the whole narrative of whatever's coming
man.
from the top
Yeah,
of the top and trickle down. They make sure it trickle
everything.
down now. You know what I mean? Don't work if you don't trickle down there. All your favorites. You feel me? So it's like, you know, we can't have any real reasoning at this time. And we can't have no sensible communication because everything is divisive. You know what I mean? Everything is divisive. So it's like, even if you want to be neutral, you're
No,
divisive for just wanting to stand in the middle. Like, all right, let me listen to your side, let me listen to that side. Let me just listen and process the stuff peacefully and not with the blaming them and blaming that. No, we have to. This is what's real. The reality of what's going on right now, G. I'm telling you right now, people have to be more accountable as individuals. You know what I mean? And this is the reality of the day. This shit ain't got nothing to do with the virus. It ain't got nothing to do with Donald Trump. It ain't got nothing to do with the damn Democrats and Republicans, what they
nope,
got going on. You know what I mean? It got
nope,
nothing to do with none of that stuff. People
nope.
have to be more accountable to how they are acting. You know what I mean? It first starts with the division. Why are you trying to divide up? You know what I mean? Because that's how we get into this. The mass situation is this is what's been brewing for such a long time. You know what I mean? This shit been cooking. They've been cooking this shit up on all the
No.
sides. You know what I mean? Division over
Can I
here,
have a
division over
request?
there. I'm gonna whip
Can
this
I
shit up.
pause,
And then
can I pause you? I
I
need
don't
you
know.
to
I don't know.
explain to the people. I got to
Okay.
pause you real quick because
All right,
what
pause
are you
me.
talking
Pause me.
about?
Pause me.
You're
Pause me.
talking about Chris Lewis, Reverend Lewis,
Oh, here
saying
you go.
words,
The
systematic
prophet. I'm a
operation.
prophet. I'm
That's
telling you,
what
I'm gonna
we're
be a
talking about.
prophet, man. It's a prophetess.
Yeah.
You gotta. It's the deprogram, really. People don't really want to embrace the deprogram, but it's really, really good for the soul. You know what I mean? It
Ooh,
might be bad for your way of life and the American way
ooh.
of living and shit like that because you gotta take into account the shit that you align with. And sorry for cussing y'all. I'm sorry for
Yeah.
cussing, but a lot of the things that we are aligned with is adding to the destructiveness of the times. We have to be admit, and it's our own individual choices too. Because I had to say, look, Chris, you're doing stuff that's adding to the destructiveness and the divisiveness of the times. Are you going to continue to do this stuff because the other side is doing it? So guess what, Chris? You got it because this is where we at. The other side doing it, Chris. So you got to do it too. You got
Hey,
to
hey,
be great.
Greg.
The other side so crazy. They want to, or they don't want to kill me, but you know how it comes to different situations. We talk about, I might be under threat, whatever. But when I'm talking about the connection that we have in this life in systematic operation, but our ability to do new things, or our ability to revolutionize what's going on. We're not going to be able to do that with all the division, because at the end of the day, we're all fighting the same people. The systematic operation, it's not. We ain't fighting it. You ain't fighting the Trumpsters, because guess what? The Trumpsters is going to work, and most of you working. A lot of people is actually working with the damn Trumpsters. You know what I mean? So when you're at work, you're shutting your mouth up because you know better. You know the dollar bill, y'all.
Step in fashion.
Cash rules everything. We got to do the balance. Cash rules everything around. Cream get the money. I might have just messed up my phone, but whatever. But this is what it's about. People are talking about, oh, my feelings. I feel this way because this guy's racist and that guy. I hate all the racists. I hate all the. Well, why the hell you supporting the damn system that created all the damn racists? You know what I mean? That's what it really comes. But not really. It's just the society around us. We're not being accountable to all the, I guess, fear we're contributing to what's going on in these current times, because, the mass situation and how I guess it's being, played out in the public eye. It's about fear. That's what it comes down to. It's a lot to do with fear, because people are afraid of what they don't know and understand. So in order to,
they don't know.
And they know they don't know. They know they don't know. They know they don't understand. So in order to act like they're doing something about it, they say, oh, put the mask on. Put the mask. And it's like, you don't even really know what's going on. Yeah, some people have gotten sick. Some people have died. And that's part of the cycle of how the way, the society is operating and you live, ways of life. Like, because I'm going to be real about this. This is what people don't want to admit to. The United States, the health of the United States out of all the developed nations is damn near the worst. I'm not talking, and the healthcare system is damn near the worst too. You know what I mean? But I'm talking about the general health of the people is damn near the worst. You know why? Because the people choose not to be healthy. The people choose not to take care of themselves. The people choose not to be. Oh, so now look, they're going to blame individuals based on their or the limited freedom that they do have, I should say, because freedom, that whole freedom thing gets played out. Oh, it's freedom, this freedom, it's right there, whatever. It ain't even about all that. The limited freedom that the individual has, they're going to now bring that into question based on the interpretation of what's being reported to them. You know what I mean? It's not something that they didn't see the scientific studies of what actually went down. They didn't go and look at the evidence of the test and the results and break it down into not just in a scholarly manner, but a manner which was, I guess I would say, critical enough. Because when you're talking about these experiments and everything, you have to have many different people doing the coming up with different conclusions. You can't just have
science.
Real science, I guess you could say, because
source, peer-reviewed, publicly available science, not pseudo bullshizzle.
Gee, this is 2020. We have the greatest. We should have the side. They should be showing us the damn shit on TV.
Real time.
They should be. They got all these different shit on TV, all this different program. They should be showing you the damn shit on TV, because this is what they say will go in your damn body. Oh, look, take this vaccine. But guess what? We have to be secretive of how we made it. We had to be secretive of what's in it. You had to go to lengths and jump through hoops and loops and bounds to see the damn ingredients. And because your damn doctors is telling you, no, shut up and take it. Don't worry about the damn ingredients. Shut up and take it. This is the vaccine that you've been had. You know what I mean? Shut up and take it.
Tuskegee. Trust me. Trust Tuskegee, Fauci, and Gatesy. Absolutely.
And this is the thing. I get that some people should be wearing masks, possibly. You know what I mean? Based on previous conditions. You know what I mean? So it's like, or some people should just stay in the damn house. You know what I mean? So if you want to take it there, if you're worried, stay your ass in the house. Then you ain't got to blame nobody. You ain't got to blame nobody. If you're worried about your life, right? This is about life. This ain't about nothing else but life and death, right? We're trying to flatten the curve or whatever you want to call it. Stay your ass in the den. If you ain't going to really, really take care of yourself in the way that you need to take care of yourself, so you can step outside and say, yo, I'm free. I don't need to be worried about that. I'm taking care of my body. I know my body. I'm not waiting until my body send me a signal, and then I got to react in a manner which I got to panic. I don't need to panic because I know my body. We are called to heal ourselves. You know, but then the extreme, you know, the extreme shit that happened, you gotta go to the damn doctor's emergency room or something when you really get drastic, like, you know, broken bones and maybe you might heart attack, something like. But a lot of the things that I'm saying can be prevented by our own actions. You know what I mean? As opposed to trying to blame game. Oh, it's their fault. It's their fault. It's their fault. It's their fault. No. You don't have to worry about nobody because that's how we all are, really, individuals at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So it's not the individual's fault. Let them die. You know, if that's how you feel, let them die. Yeah, don't tell them, oh, you're gonna kill me. No, let them die if they want to die based on the virus.
You know what?
You know
Here's my example. Here's my example. It's like grizzly bears, right?
Okay.
Like, say, I don't know, Philly Zoo break down, right? And he's getting a shipment of grizzly bears. About 40 of them got off the truck, is running around Philly, grizzly bears.
Right.
How many advertisements does government have to give to Philly to get people to stay in the doors? Do they just do one announcement? Hey, listen, everybody, it's some damn grizzly bears on the street.
Right.
Stay home. That's all they got to say.
Right.
They don't need a follow-up. They don't need John Rappaport. They don't need Denzel Washington. They don't need Whitney Houston. She dead. They don't need Bobby Brown. Is he alive? He's still alive.
He alive.
They don't need none of them.
Yeah.
They don't need Puff Diddy. They don't need nobody.
CNN, MSNBC, Fox News.
Stay home. Be safe. Wear your mask.
Stay home.
Curb society. New normal. All that crazy ignorant stuff.
All
It's grizzly bears on the street. And you know what happened? They don't have to advertise a virus. Is if it's grizzly bears on the street, they're going to eat your booty a whole lot. You ain't got to worry about advertising.
Unless you know how to protect yourself. Look,
announcement.
Unless you know how to protect yourself. You know what I mean?
But you know, so here's my other problem. They advertise it every damn 5 minutes, so I can't even watch the television because every damn commercial will tell me to be safe. Like the government that drop buildings on babies.
This is true.
Shoot people on the street, choke them with the kneecaps, and put mass incarceration and shoot people for ranching, just trying to put some cattle out in the farm. They shoot people for everything. The #1 weapons trafficker in the world is telling me that they care about my body, my biology, and for me to be safe. That's ignorant. You don't have to advertise it. If something is outside killing people, whether it's murder hornets, Zika mosquitoes, Ebola, somebody with some anthrax and influenza, all you gotta do is tell people once. That's it.
It's already common knowledge. You play it safe. Play it safe. You feel me?
And nature does the rest.
Nature does the rest. That's all. Play it safe.
You gotta force people to stay inside with cops and guns and laws and commercials and Hollywoods and all that. You lying. You lying.
But you also know what it is, D. I'm glad you said something about it because that just shows you exactly what we're knee deep in anyway. Capitalism. Because in order for them to for people to buy what they're selling, they have to repetitively advertise. You have to You have to keep showing people what they need. I guess what they supposed to feel like they need. You know damn well you don't need this shit. But they're going to show you it over and over and over again. Guess what? Your friends and them going to be drugged up on it. Your auntie, your uncle, your cousins and them going to be drugged up on it. And then you're going to be like, damn, well, maybe my human instincts ain't right. You know what I mean? They're going to make you go against your own instincts and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. You going to trust your lying eyes? You going to trust TV? I'm telling you, it's grizzly bears in Philly. People look out their window. They don't see no grizzly bears. They want to go outside. No, it's grizzly bears in Philly. The only reason to repetitively say it is to brainwash it into your conscious mind and subconscious that you need to stay indoors. That's how you know they're lying. The other way I say it is if an asteroid was coming to blow everybody up, all the people that they love and they care. If an asteroid was coming and the Democrat, Republican leadership was not in their bunkers yet, would they tell anybody?
Hell no.
Hell no. Hell no.
Hell no.
You when they get off at the bunker. Government continuity. So the idea that government's going to take if a whistleblower came over here from China, Brother Chris, and said it's a virus and it's loose in America and it's killing people. And the government, the United States, the incorporated Democrats and Republicans got together and said, listen, people, we know the crazy man was on television. He told you it's a virus on the streets. I would be hiding in my house. I'd have masked by a weapon suit, lab covered up, some gloves and plastic. I wouldn't let nobody in my house. I get that tape in the plastic. I'd be putting that on my windows. Listen, if they say go left, I go right. If they say jump, I duck. I know who these people are.
Right.
I've been watching them my whole damn
entire life.
All they can do is lie for profit, brother. That's all they can do.
And this is where society is stuck at right now. You know what I mean? We're stuck in the middle somewhere because it's like we're caught in between reason and, you know, I don't want to say opinion, but just like fear. I don't want to say conspiracy either. You know what I mean? But it's just like propaganda. You know what I mean? A lot of people are thinking and, you know, coming to these conclusions based off of propaganda. So they're thinking with a bias. They're thinking with a divisive mind, as opposed to wanting to possibly come together in a way that we can get the right information to actually, you know, spread to help each other, you know, because it's about narratives. You know what I mean? Everything comes down to who's the majority of people believing. And at this time, the majority of people sadly believe the government, even though there's a big majority, there's the big minority that's actually, you know, coming to where they are ready to question everything. You know what I mean? Even though some people get to the point where they're questioning things to the point where they're looking too damn crazy. You know what I mean? But it's good to see people questioning everything. You know what I mean? And this is something that's going to lead us into an era for our young generations to come to where they're always on point and aware of how easily deceptive the media can be. But not only the media, but public officials, you know, because this is the thing where, oh, the public officials are right. These guys are always right. These guys, you need to listen to the public officials because guess what? Like you were just saying, G, they never lied to us. Oh, the presidents never lied to us. The presidents, the politicians, my mayor, my governor, the state representative, the housing, they never lied to us. They never, Chris, you gotta believe them. They've always told me that this is foolishness because they've always lied to me, to you, to us. No one, and it ain't about skin color because you know how they probably put skin. Oh, it's black people that need to get the vaccine first. It's black people that gotta be front of line in this one, y'all. Black people back here. And you know what a lot of black people are doing? Oh, I gotta be front of line to get that vaccine because other than I don't know how to protect myself from this stuff. So I need to listen to the people that I've been trusting. They've been lying to you your whole damn life. The reason why you stuck right now in this position is because your for generations you was lied to. By the same system, man, the same damn system. Been lying to you and your mom. It lied to your mama. It lied to your granddaddy. It lied to your great granddaddy. All the way down in this line. But now you trust them? Especially, this is real talk, bro. This is one thing I'm not secure about, but I'm serious about it now. My health. Because when you understand health and what it means to life and your thinking and just the way you operate, you have to really bring into view how, remember the nutrition system? Oh, wait, the nutrition system full of lies. The nutrition system that was full of this is how you should eat, y'all. This is how you should eat. This is how you should eat. Now all these people was getting sick. And they was starting to change. Oh, well, maybe, we should cut off of this and cut off of that. And then we got this new science. You know, because our old science wasn't up to date, so we got this new science now, and you had to believe this. But before sorry or not sorry for telling you should believe that. Now it's you need to come on. This is bullshit. Oh, they are changing stuff as they go along, and it's all about the gullibility of the public. As long as the public is gullible, as long as the public is divided, they'll fall for it. You know what I mean? As long as they're going to look, Trump, it's Trump's fault. Trump is Trump's fault because, his response and whatever the case is, his response to the virus. No, the U.S. healthcare system sucks when it comes to these things because we shouldn't be in this position in the first place. The most developed country in the world. But yet we have the worst response to the coronavirus worldwide. Doesn't that tell you anything, people? And they spent the most money.
I gotta add something.
Capitalism. What the hell is going on? I don't even know.
So what we just did. Let's think about it like this, because people, they're coming out, and what you just said is of extreme depth. We are the most hated government in the world. We are pretty much the most hated people. We have excelled North Korea. Everybody hates us. They can't stand us. They'd be happy to get rid of us. And if there's anybody that doesn't, they want a fair shake and fair play in a fair market, which means America has to fall.
Yeah.
We just did. We literally just rolled over and showed the big dogs our bellies. You couldn't get to America with a military. You can't get to America with no drones, no airplanes, no bombs. You're not getting through the United States military.
Right.
But we just showed everybody our weakest point. We are among the sickest people on the planet. We eat chicken donuts and bagels and biscuits and nothing healthy. And if any terrorist is out there, if any foreign government is ready to go ahead and put America back in its place and under the boat, under the prison, under the Rothschild, Rockefeller, central currency, collapse status, all they got to do is release something that looks like a virus. All they got to do is release something that scares people, and we'll be on lockdown for the next 3 months. So here's my point. So you had a whistleblower come out and tell you that they made this. They had a whistleblower that told you that they made it in Fort Detrick, and during the Obama administration, they closed up. They said, you know what? We love everybody. We love Chris and we love Luke Carter, and we can figure it out that we ain't supposed to be making no bioweapons. We're gonna stop it because we love you. We love you. And so what they did is they decided they're gonna not make any bioweapons in the United States of America, and everybody cheered. And so what they did is they closed those labs up
and took them overseas
to China.
Took them overseas, not just China either. Too. They got them. They got them a couple places.
I think they sent them to all of our enemies, all of them. And it's just we got caught with the one. So they never stopped developing weapons. And the government that's supposed to be on our side, these Democrats and Republicans that people can't stop voting for, decided to send them to who they tell us is the enemy. Think about that.
Yeah, that makes
sense. And it comes home to us, and it's just like I don't think people are really thinking this out. If you at home and you at home with the person that you love, and she love you and you love her, and that phone ring and late at night, y'all done had your dinner and your steaks and shrimps or the veggie burgers or something, a little glass of wine, it's freaky time, and that phone ring is late at night. Tyrone calling time, and she take that phone and turn that sucker. She take that phone and turn silence and turn it upside down so you can't see who just called. Is somebody else in the conversation. All right, I'm gonna tell you that. So what just happened here is we was all at home with the Democrats and Republicans, had steaks and shrimps, about to get some freaking time on. We know you had a little glass of wine, and all of a sudden China. And it was just one. Because let me tell you another little secret. If somebody cheating on you and you caught that person, I guarantee you that was not the first one. I'm gonna tell you right now. If explain how it's real. They just relax so much on the systematic operations that you were able to see one. They got so comfortable doing what they were. We tell them man secrets here, but that's woman secrets too. You know, but that's what we just see. The funny thing is when you take
talk about it
and you put it in relationship like type setup, people lose their damn minds. Like, hell no, I ain't gonna tolerate that. Hell no.
I tell you. I'm trying to tell you.
And then so if you can't trust people, and you got a schematic for determining who you can and can't trust, why the hell would you accept that from a government?
Yeah, this is true. This is so true. And it's sad because you know what? The reality of it is this is a trickle-down effect of what's been going on for generations. And on a microscopic level, we see this with our very own lives. You can apply the things that happen in your life, like you were saying, to what's going on in the government. You know what I mean? But the thing is, we're supposed to apply those same morals and principles that we hold to the individuals around us with the public officials. And this is what we don't do. So when somebody does us wrong, we want to, cut them off from our life and box them. You know what I mean? Somebody does you wrong in this relation, and especially if they're not in a family. You know what I mean? If they're not in a family, they cut. You did what I'm saying. They trespass against you. They trespass against your people. They trespass against your child. They trespass against your children. They is cut. I'm talking about cut. Forgot. I mean, we don't know these people anymore. I'm sorry, honey. Who? You said what? Huh? No, we don't know those people anymore, honey. Sorry, we moved on. That's what we're supposed to be doing with these public officials. But guess what? We don't, because we're so programmed to just keep falling in line and falling in line. And hey, look, and it's sad to me to say this, but hey, take this lashing. All right, take this. And that's what we're doing. In a sense, is we're getting lashed over and over and over again, and we're taking it because you know what? We've been so accustomed to it. We've become so, engraved in it and understanding that, listen, that's what the government do. That's what they do. So, you got to play the game. You got to play the game. I'm trying to get paid, or I'm trying to do this for my family. And it's real out here, though. You know what I mean? Because in the way that society's operations are set up, in order to really get in to the progressive way of living life, I guess you want to say, you have to sell yourself. You know what I mean? When you go to sign up or apply for this job and that job, it don't matter what level of age you are. You know what I mean? When you're 16, you gotta put that mask on in order to keep the job. You know what I mean? You want to be lax and you want to be laid back and chill and be yourself. But now the society is telling you, hey, you got to fit this molding. If you're not going to fit this molding, then guess what? You're not going to make it. And that's what people are applying to, or that's how people are assessing their loved ones. They're assessing their loved ones based on this value of the systematic operations around us that are, I don't want to just say fraudulent, but are deceptive. You know what I mean? Because the deception is we have to make this money. You have to make that dollar bill. You have to believe this government. You have to do as they say, because guess what? They're right. You don't have enough sense to know what's right. You don't have enough sense to get together with your neighborhood and the people and your loved ones around you to build your own community organization and make it to where y'all ain't got to pay for shit, because y'all make sure y'all supplying all the needs of everyone, and especially the young ones that come into this world. You're not trying to program them into be in this competition. No, they're telling you that you don't have even the thinking ability to get together and do something like that. So they say, look, we figured it out for you. Deal with this racism, deal with this capitalism, deal with this exclusion, I guess, because we excluded from the real what's going on. That's for the billionaires and whoever else their cronies are. But live in this life of exclusion from what could be, based on the things that you can be, or the things that you can gain access to based on these operations. But again, that operation says that we're putting our brothers and sisters around the world in jeopardy. And we see the evidence today. It's not like we don't got the phones and the internet and the technology to see how we're working with this country and this government operation to do destructive things around the world. This is not to say that some good things aren't being done, because they have to do good things in order to keep the people blind. This is what people know. So it's like the army in the war. Oh, we done this in the sake of good. No, this is murder. If they came and ran down on you and murdered you, you would be ready for revenge. So now when the people are ready for revenge in them third world countries, they call them terrorists. They call those the bad guys because they want revenge for what's been done to them. We have to.
They call them the same thing they call us.
Yeah.
They call them the same thing they call this Lavoy Finicum and the Bundys and Chris Gardner or Eric Gardner and all of them. They're terrorists, and they treat you like that. Yeah,
they're terrorists. You're terroristic.
They literally treat you like that. It's the relationship between the abuse and the abuser, right? Like, you ever know someone always making excuses for the person that they're with. Like, you know what, this person been cheating on you, and they always make excuses. Well, he gonna do right. It's the best he can do, and it's my fault, and I burned the chicken, and like the mind of the abuser. It is a master-slave relationship, the abuser and the abuser. And this is the only reason why people have that like slave-like mind where they can't seem to escape a system. They know it doesn't mean them any good. And the other thing that you said which was I'm gonna translate, say, oh, well, Donald Trump is racist, and the other side is Donald Trump is fighting pedophile. All I really hear is I'm scared of the left. or I'm scared of the right.
All day long.
It's just
all
fear.
Day long. Fear all day. And that's where we're crushed.
It blows my mind that anybody thinks he has anything to do with the systematic operations of the planet, right? The planet. There is no billionaire, trillionaire family, stupid, crazy, ignorant, dumb, lost enough to give regular folk that don't have $1 billion control of their cash cow, United States of America. Ain't never going to do it. They have no idea how the world works. They just hate each other. And that's the translation to me, is it has nothing to do. And so every time I laugh at it, brother, every time I see a post about jiving Biden, tricky Trump, I laugh at it, man. I think it's funny. I'm gonna enjoy the apocalypse show until people grow up. We either gonna grow extinct, or we're gonna grow up, or we're gonna wait till they get that race war, which is really what they want. Right?
They got it.
What is this bill? They just what is this? HR 5717. I don't know if anybody read that. This is the bill where they're raising, they're doing some ridiculous tax on firearms and ammo. And I think, of course, a Democrat introduced the bill. The Republicans most likely will sign it. And what is this about? Well, I find it highly interesting that they're basically putting people on the street and putting them, they're stirring up racial tension, right? Like, there are people on the street who mean well. There are people on the street who are trying to, educate everyone as to the scarcity that they're dealing with, what's going on in their lives. But it's obvious that through systematic operations, people are showing up and sending bricks, and they're breaking windows, and they're doing things to try to stir up this riot thing. The only thing you see on TV, or the times I turn the TV on, which is rare, which is young black kids beating up a white guy or dragging him out of a car, and him taking the bow and arrow, shooting it back. All of the craziness. They're not showing the vast majority of protests, which is just peaceful people standing out on the street, which is right down the street from me, and they just standing on the corner like we love black people.
Talking shit. Yeah, you already know.
Basic stuff.
But it's also vice versa too.
What they're trying to do is they're stirring up racial tension, in my perspective, because people got to a point where they almost didn't give a damn. You got to a point where racism, from a pure racist perspective, not the guy that just don't like you around, don't want to hire you, a woman or whatever. I'm talking about somebody that doesn't like how you breathe. They don't like the fact that you're taking an air in your nostrils and they would string you up, like real hardcore, non-TV, don't even come around here racism. It was obscure, right? Backwater, bayou, out. It was probably in Wall Street, hidden in places, but they needed to drum it back up. They needed to find a way to make it sexy and popular again, to really get people divided up. And so I see, they're screaming for racial tension to go up because it's an election year, because people stopped caring so much about the whole racism thing. It's there at a systematic level. Evidence of that is Oregon. If you just heard about Oregon, where what is it in Oregon? Black people can't wear masks, but white people can. And it's racism. They say nothing about Asian people.
Isn't that Oregon? No, that's Seattle.
That's systematic racism, bro. And this is my breakdown of it. Here's my breakdown of it is, I don't have any interest in Black Lives Matter or White Lives Matter. I don't, because to me, as long as I've been alive on this planet, ain't no black life I've ever seen that has ever mattered in any way, shape, form, fashion, or anything. Nor have I seen a government that gave two damns about it, whether it's black people in the government seat or white people in the government seat. And as long as I've been alive, grew up with poor whites, and a lot of poor blacks, and them poor whites, their life ain't matter one bit. They can give two damns if it was a white butt in the chair in politics or a black butt in the chair. Life does not matter here. It literally does not matter. We are.
I'm telling you, G. I said something the other day, right? Not to cut you off right there, but I said something the other day, and it's like what the reality of our situation really is. You know what I mean? Everybody's caught up in the racial stuff, the political stuff, and the divisiveness of it all. You know what I mean? What you were saying is kind of true, where it's like, it's not really about lives mattering, I guess you could say, because at the end of the day, all life matters, but not in the way I'm saying it. Like people say it to counter Black Lives Matter. You know what I mean? Because it's just that all that stuff is divisive in its own right. You know what I mean? But the reality is that these people are saying Black Lives Matter because they don't know what else to say. That's going to sound like, you know, not threatening to, I guess, you know, it's like you could say Black Power. You know what I mean? There's nobody going to, what the hell we talking about now? Then you know what they're going to counter with, what you counter with Black Power, white power. You know what I mean? That's what the Black Lives Matter, all like, that's all it is really. But that's not what I'm trying to get at. The reality of this situation is that in this operation, in the way that it is, it's a working class struggle. You know what I mean? And that's what people don't want to assess at this point. It's a working class struggle through and through. And it doesn't matter if you're white. It doesn't matter if you're black. It doesn't matter if you're Chinese. It doesn't matter if you're Latino. It doesn't matter what you want to be. This, because that's what really, that's all it is. And then your feelings. Your feelings. Okay, let me break this shit down. This is a business. Okay, this is a business. Do y'all understand? United States Corporation. It ain't about your feeling. It ain't about my damn feelings. Because when you go into the business state, guess what you are? A motherfucking number. You're not black. Well, you might be black and white when it comes maybe to that whole hiring process, where you might get blocked off and they might box you out because of your skin or this and that, or they might upgrade you because of the benefits of this and that. But at the core of all of this bullshit, it's a working class struggle. From the whites to the blacks, from the Trumps to the libs, from the progressives to the conspiracy theorists, from the atheists to the evangelists, from the Muslims to the Catholics. It don't matter what you want to feel. When it comes to the operations, so when it comes to the government, it's a business. So if you're not organized in terms of going up against the business, you know, because it's like a union. Everybody that's in the public is in the damn union together. It don't matter if you black. It don't matter if you white. You paying taxes. You getting taxed. You going to fund everything. That you're not funding only stuff that's going on in the black neighborhoods. You're not funding stuff that's only going on in the white neighborhoods. You funding stuff that's going on in the whole damn United States of America.
And your grandkids and great grandkids.
Your grandkids, your great-grand, this is the entirety of the situation. If the working class was to unite in the way that they should, things can change. It's not going to change in one election because we would have to actually do something strategic to go against the already tactical operations of the blue and the red party because they working together behind the scenes. You know what I mean? To box out the working class. You know what I mean? They boxing out the working class. It don't matter. And they're saying, "Oh, Trump's at fault. Trump's at fault." No. Trump don't give a fuck about feelings. He knows that it's a business. So he can act like a clown. He can be a racist. He gonna do all that shit. He gonna do all because he knows it's a business. Oh, guess what? I can get my supporters riled up. Well, guess what? I can get those supporters dumbed down and hateful. And guess what? They're not going to really, it's not really about me. It's that they hate each other. Because guess what? They all going to be working for us, y'all. They all going to be working for us. Yo, guess what? They hate you, but they hate me too. They hate you, but guess what? I'm Donald Trump. I can take all the hate. I don't give a damn. They hate me. Guess what? Any news is good news. Donald Trump has been groomed to this. Any news is good news. It don't matter if they saying he's a racist. He don't give a damn if black people think he's racist because guess what? He know black people going to work tomorrow. They going to work tomorrow. I'm getting paid. You get me?
Let me do this because I know one lady who actually knew Donald Trump. I knew one lady who knew him and who knows him. And I know one, this guy, he didn't know him, but his son worked directly for him. And the one thing that the lady said, there are very few people say, yeah, I know Donald Trump. I met him, and I know there's a difference between people who know him, who get down in the billionaire parties, and people who just kind of seen him and brushed by him. And the one thing she told me, she said, well, Donald Trump is actually a nice guy. But if you ever cross him, he will become anybody he needs to become to get the deal done. And when you just said that, it made me think of her, and it resonates because that is actually what he's doing, which is what you said. it's not good press or bad press for Donald Trump. Donald Trump, whether y'all like it or not, he is smarter than pretty much everybody I've met on the other side. Why? In terms of government and high up, because he played everybody. He played everybody and let you think anything you wanted to think. They let everybody yell, scream about the racism, whatever. You forgot the fact that he was in the Bobby Brown video. He's in all the hip hop videos, pictures with him and Al Sharpton and all of this. But they let they told you that he was this. You accepted this as your reality. He didn't necessarily deny it immediately. Kind of let things play up. And of course, the left media, if you ever look at the left media, you'll never see anything about him denying. He did deny white supremacy 18 times. Which you still got to show people the video, and I think they might have taken that down off of YouTube. But the point is this: is YouTube? There is no bad press, right? There is no bad resonation. As long as you're speaking about him, it becomes about him. And I'm not saying good guy, bad guy, indifferent. I really don't care. It's just not even in my realm of reality. Where I'm at is we got a lot of people that need needs. They come in all colors, and they are Democrats, they're Republicans. People in the UK, you got people in Latin America, you got Africa and Syria and Yemen. We have a responsibility to be responsible, and we're not being responsible because we're too damn emotional, and we need to stop being so damn emotional. And the only way that happens is you take all the identity and politics out of the important discussions, and people starving to death beneath New York City in 20 levels of ancient subway, state, train station, whatever that they live in. That's a real topic. You don't give that, right? You don't give starving white kids in Alabama to politicians. You don't give that them. You give them food. You don't feed it as fodder to the politicians to come up with a solution. You demand what they do. You don't ask, the criminal elite that have always been running this world, who, if you ask me, Donald Trump is not in the big club, neither is Barack Obama, but they damn sure want to be. Okay. And they'll do what they need to get where they need to be, like any one of you would do, like I would do, like Chris would probably do. But unfortunately, Chris is bone po black man, I was bone po black man. That's how the world sees us.
I mean, we still could though, you know what I mean? So that's why I look at it like you still can, but you just it's depending on how much you want to sell yourself out, you know what I mean? That's what it comes down to every day, you know what I mean?
It's systematic operations, Chris. I would not be here doing this with you if I was born in a family with yachts. Okay,
I guess you're right about that.
I wouldn't be able to relate to you, brother. I'd look at you like,
no, you'd be like, these guys are crazy. What are these guys talking about? These guys are crazy.
Look, you need to work hard. You need to get out there to get yourself some degrees. Stop being lazy. We need to put
you don't got to just agree. You just got to strive to do it the American way. You know what I mean? You ain't got to do it the degree way. You got to strive to do it and not only that, you got to be proud of the American way at the same time while ignoring the American history. You know what I mean?
Look, Tiffany just said it. Because it's all crowd psychology.
Okay,
That's right. If I were Donald Trump, I would be Donald Trump. If I were Barack Obama, when you were raised up in the crowd, right? And
environmental
is this, right? You're a baby, right? Your babies are neutral. You're just ready to be encoded, right? And they encode you based on your birth bigotry, wherever you are, whoever you are, your mommy, your daddy, your friends, your family, the people you go to school with, and you become that person. Now, the only point I'll stop and say there's a point where you start to discover your true self. Right? I think there's a point in the maturing process where you start to question if you are the person you should be. And some people get to that when they're 17. I personally didn't. Some people get to it when they're 50, but whenever you start coming into that understanding that I'm doing things and it's not helping, I'm doing things and it's not pushing the human race in the right direction, and I'm a part of the race, then you have to start to question who you are. So it's definitely crowd psychology from birth, and crowd psychology drives it how they farm everything on in this nation and all the nations. But it's if you were them, you were born them, you would be them until you mature and get old enough to grow up and say, you know what, I'm 25 and my daddy beat my mom and I just hit my girlfriend and it didn't feel good, right? It didn't feel, I feel
you
like
you have to be related. You have to have this life experience or something.
Right. Like this is normal to me because I watched my grandfather do it, my uncle do it, my daddy do it, and I just did it. And the person I love is in pain. The person I love is hurt. What is wrong with me? Like this isn't what it's supposed to be. And to me, I think that's like a glitch in the matrix. It's like a glitch in psychology.
I'm gonna ask you this though.
Yeah.
Now that you said this, see, this is real. Now that you said that point, it's like this is what I'm thinking is like, does everybody still possess the ability to do that? So in saying how, you know, it takes people certain experiences to go through before they come to or something, whatever the case is, can the people that are in office still do that? You know, like Donald Trump's, the types that people hate so much, you know what I mean? Or Joe Biden's or the Hillary Clinton's, Obama's, and all these other, can these people, do these people still possess the ability to come to a state of consciousness of what's transpired based on their actions? You know what I mean? And then can they turn around and act further for the benefit of the people after such? You know what I mean?
That's a different story, right? So I think you said it right, which is, and I'm not a psychologist, nothing like that. I know what you mean. I listen to psychology, I listen to lectures, I got friends of the psychology students, and I find it fascinating. And if I misspeak, my friends will all correct me, so I'm not even worried about that. I think everybody has the coding at default, right? Default at birth, but it's experience, like you said. Like usually for most of us, you go through something first. Like in the example of the guy that hits his girlfriend, right? You go through something and something hiccups, like you go through pain, you lose your job, you lose your house, you go through a breakdown, or you get abused by somebody. You go through something hardcore that breaks you down to your lowest. And I think that's when the time, for me anyway, and for most people I talk to,
some people it's like that.
Kind of enlightenment comes. And in terms of like being among the elites, right? How often do they go through catastrophic things?
Yeah, I mean, that's it. That's right. You're right. They don't experience stuff in the manner in which they're really traumatized by life in a way that they can feel that. Right. Yeah, I get what you're saying. You have to have some type of traumatizing experience to where it's like when people say they was close to death and they seen God. I seen the pearly gates, and I tell you to this day, I ain't gonna live foul no more. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? People did go through that, and it's like, oh shit, really? You seen? Damn, what the God did? Was he white like they said he was, or was the black? I mean, it's like no, I'm messing around, but that's what it is. I get what you're saying, but those people really don't experience those type of things. You know what I mean? And they don't. So they don't get that wiring or that bump in the head, more or less, you could say, doesn't happen. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna say this. Poverty in that way is a privilege. And what I mean by that is, poverty, first of all, is the number one weapon of war, right? It is the worst. It is the most weaponized situation you can set up for somebody. But what I'm saying is there are certain things I've noticed about people in poverty. And I'm not talking about just non-billionaires. I call them all, if you ain't got $1 billion, you're not even important to the conversation.
Okay.
100 million.
You got 999 million.
You know what? Then you got to know somebody. You can't. I mean, this is the new world, right? This is the new world.
It is the new age. Yeah, you know what I mean. If you ain't talking billions, man, beat it, buddy. Beat it, buddy.
There's something empowering about being able to have so little that you can start to see how this world works. Okay. If you have so much, you don't really want to see it. You don't really get to see it. You're a slave as much as everybody else is.
For sure enough. Mentally, for sure enough.
Mentality and that psychology, you're just all competing on different levels.
Yeah. Your mind is just stuck in a different chamber your entire life. You know what I mean? It's in a completely different chamber.
The spot you're in, you can have more things, but you have less enlightenment. And that's what I mean by, in a way, poverty is a privilege because it exposes you to things that you would never see on their level. And to a degree, I kind of feel responsible for Donald Trump, right? I feel responsible for Barack Obama. I feel responsible for the people who are in the most privileged situations that our consent promotes them in places no human being should ever be forced into. It's our obligation to break down, like you said, the system, because the systematic operations are what make people the way they are. It's never about people. It's never about identity. It's not about political party. It's about whether or not, we are building a world that's allowing more people to be exposed to enlightenment and consciousness so we can push this world in the right direction. And we're not doing that.
Yeah, this is true because you said it. We're all born by default damn near when it comes down to it. You know what I mean? But difference is genetic makeup, I guess you could say. You know what I mean? Based on your mother and father and what they passing down to you. But as far as mentality and like mind goes, you're born free. You know what I mean? You're damn near free. You feel me? And you start from a state of freedom, and the environments around you dictate the level of awareness that you have, not only to the realities that are going on in this, you know, materialized world that we live in, but also the natural realities that have been going on forever. This is the key, G. We are not connected to the natural realities that have been going on forever and ever and ever since the beginning of time. Because the majority of our life, I would like to say about, I don't even, for some people it's different, but I think it's damn near 90% of our life is dedicated to the material reality of society. And what this does to your mind is disconnected from the innovation within that is connected to the natural world around us. You know what I mean? Because poverty comes from the lack of understanding of the natural world around us. Because the thing is like this, we don't need money for shit.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You don't need money. All you need is, I guess, a guardians or a village that can teach you how to maintain off the land. But not just see, look, it's just like you said, the environments, if you are birthed on land, I guess you can, I'm not gonna say like off the grid or whatever, because but on land, like not as we are when we go home to house and the crib and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? If you're birthed on the land, you wake up, your every day is on the land from a baby. You know what I mean? You're getting submerged in the land, the natural lands of our creation, what we are, what is at our core. You know what I mean? At our core is the natural, just who we are is connected to the lands, the water, and all this. If we're spending all of our time in this environment, we wouldn't, I guess we would look differently, like some people do in different cultures around the world. They look differently at this materialized way that we live, in a way that says, what's wrong with those people? Their languages are different, but they look upon those like, why are those people so lost? You know what I mean? But it's reversed because we look at them in that way, because the majority of our experience is the materialistic society. So we look at them like, why are they so savage? Why are they so uncivilized? Why don't they? You don't know how to talk the right way. You can't communicate. Why don't you know how to use a phone? Damn it! You don't know how to text. Damn it! You don't know how to use. And this is our new modern reality. It's not connected to the great things that our ancestors were connected to. You know what I mean? Because they knew the spirituality that we have today is materialized as well. The love that we have today, materialized based on the environment. The love that we have is based on what you have and what you don't have. If you ain't got the shit that I need you to have, I can't love you, honey. Sorry, I'm moving on to the next one. And physically, if you ain't got the looks that I think you need, you know what I mean? It's not nothing connecting our souls. And when there's nothing connecting our souls, the majority of, on a macroscopic level, I guess you could say, it's going to show in how the operations of society are. You know what I mean? So now we have to have a big reevaluation, if you must. And that's based on our own individual realities. You know, we have to start bringing into question the shit we're accepting from our family and friends, you know, because if we don't bring into question what we accept from them, we can't really act like we're going to do anything about the systematic operation, because we ain't tackling the real work that we can do in our own damn environments. You know what I mean? So now everybody's pointing the finger at Donald Trump like he's a racist, he's a racist, he's a racist. Well, you ain't saying that shit to your damn mama. You know what I mean? Everybody pointing the finger at, oh, this person's bothering this person's bothering there, but you telling, hey, I love my cousin, I'm glad he out. You know what I mean? And you ain't telling him that you need to stop acting the fuck up. You need to start straightening up. You know what I mean? We need to have the same type of dedication that we have in our environments or whatever the case is with the societal systems. Because if we don't, we can't expect nothing to really change. You're not doing the real work at home. You're not doing the real work where you can. You know what I mean? But now you want to get out here in public and start pointing, oh, it's his fault, it's their fault, it's those people. It's our fault. And
it's our fault.
That, we have to start breaking the chains in some way. In your own individual life, you got to break the chains. You got to be unafraid to communicate with people like, look, I fucked up. I fucked up because guess what? I assumed the position that I was taught to assume as far as it comes to my brothers and sisters around the world, but not only around here, you know what I mean, where we're currently at. But it takes people to break through the habitual natures of informing, I guess, you know, because it's a habit to go home and turn on the TV and watch mainstream media, but that's part of the programming, you know, that's part of the programming that brought us here. But that's the habit. You have to go back on some of these habits, you know, in a way that you can open the mind for more information, I guess you can say, information that's going to nurture the soul, information that's going to connect you to your brother and sister. You know what I'm saying? It's deep. It's some deep shit out here, man. It's some deep shit.
I got to show you something, man. I don't think you can see it. It's rough, it's dirty, it's ugly, nasty, all of that stuff. But you mentioned environment, which is funny to me.
Okay.
Because we actually don't have the feet we're supposed to have. I'm not sure.
Oh shit! I was. Damn,
can you
man,
see that?
You taking my mind? What you taking in my mind?
We so no, seriously, like real talk. I don't know how to move my face over in that thing. Hang on, this is what I'm gonna
try to bring a big one. Yeah, there you go. Oh, you're gonna move me. So now I'm gonna have to talk about the picture that I know nothing about. Okay, but I see feet. That looks like, you see, these feet are, in my best form of language, would be disfigured. You know, because that's what we would call them. But however, Brother G was saying, these feet could be the normalized feet of the human being in the natural environments, such as sticks. And which I don't think nobody heard
you. Dude, those feet are human feet. That's literally what feet are supposed to look like. Your feet are straight because you were born, and Rothschild or Rockefeller, whoever figured out, thought that your feet need to be in shoes so your toes are straight.
Yeah, right? I know what you mean.
This is what everybody in the rainforest feet look like.
Yeah.
Okay. You know why? Because they got to run, jump, hide, monkeys chasing them, jaguars, it's slippery in the jungle, climbing trees. Your feet actually are supposed to look like where the grounds they walk on.
Okay.
Our feet aren't even human. Our feet aren't even, and we look at that, but is that an example of environment? This is what you were just talking about. We're born in the city, we're born in the suburb, we're born around all white people, we're born around all black people, we're born around all Latin people, and we take on the form of the environment, right? Not just at a biological level, but at a sociological identity level, right? The most dangerous creature on this planet is the mofo that got them damn feet. That's just ugly. No, I'm sorry. The most dangerous person.
See, man, we ain't civilized, man. We lost our way.
Look, I'm gonna be honest about my indoctrination. I'm gonna be honest. If I had feet like that, I'd never wear these flip-flops. I would not wear these sandals. Hell no.
But listen, it makes perfect sense. Gee, think about it. You wear socks from the day you come out the womb. You're wearing socks. Your feet is being this is just you remember them aliens? Think about it. Remember them aliens with them heads that might not be aliens, but them humans with the heads that extended further up in the sky like that. You know what I mean? We probably are able to eat the ancient people. I guess we're called ancient. Yeah. I don't know. It's a certain term they called it, but they are said to have been humans as well, because they understood the abilities of the body to be not disfigured, but to be formed in a way that, you know, you could probably want to form it and stuff like that. So that's something that we've never really experienced, because guess what? You're going to think they're going to think you damn crazy when you didn't had your baby cooped up in the house for 5 damn years, and then when you finally bring them out, they got this thing poking out like a cone head. You know what I'm saying? They're going to say, hold up, arrest that man. Take that baby. You know what I mean? This not going to be, some ain't going to be right. You know what I mean? So it's like our society has been raised and bred with a narrow-minded vision. You know, what it does is it keeps us in this, I don't want to say chaotic frame of mind, but the divisive frame of mind, because the expansiveness of what the world really has to offer us, we're not receiving, because we're boxed in based on, you know, our own. It's like this. Not, you know how your feet can be disfigured or whatever, figured by the environment around you. Stop, man. I'm trying to say something. Stop, back up.
That's the right figure. Yeah. That's the right figure. It's not disfigured.
I know. So look, think about our mind. If that's how our feet are supposed to look, our minds are supposed to look the same way. You know, because it's nothing wrong, I guess you could say, with, I'm not gonna say it's nothing wrong, but maybe our own bodies is trying to tell us something. You know what I mean? But we're not relating it to the history in a way that we can understand in a deeper manner what's going on. Because guess what? The same mother effers that telling us the information about the virus and stuff like that told us the information about history. And they've narrated every step of the way. In the majority, as long as the majority believes, Brother Gerard, everybody else has to fall in line. So unless we have a big enough conquest of the mind, because we can't conquest in the world like they did, you know, go stealing this shit here, stealing there, stealing. We can't do that. We have to get the mind. We have to steal the minds of the people back. And this is the greatest work that we can do in this day and age right now, is save some minds. You know what I mean? Because in this way that we're so caught up in this, it's a deep program, you know, it's deep conditioning. They have to shampoo you, condition you, know how to take a shower, shampoo, condition. It's a cycle going on. You know what I mean? They have to keep doing it.
Shampoo, I don't condition nor shampoo. That's
yeah, because you ain't got to no more. You know what I mean? You got a little, you can save a little bit. But this is,
I don't shampoo nor condition. I have no idea what you're talking about, brother.
We have to cleanse the mind. We have to get our minds clean. You know what I mean? And we have to change the product. Okay, we have to cleanse the mind and change the product. And then, you know, maybe we could develop new habits of communicating that aren't divisive, that aren't so caught up in biased. Oh, I like this person. So if you don't like this person like I do, then you support the other people. You support this. Like, this is the shit. I'm not ready. Gee, I'm not ready for this election season, man. Fuck a virus. I don't want to deal with this election season.
I'm not going to deal with it. You can deal with it. I ain't going to deal with it. I tell you, I already told my people where to go. I done told my white people, my black people, my Democrats, and Republicans. So y'all be acting no fool on my thread now. I know it's election season. I know that your foot is formed to walk in Nikes, not to grip, you know, laws, right? I get that your brain is formed around your black upbringing, Philly, or the trailer park, or Trump, whatever it is. But we're going to have some sense on my timeline. Like I said, y'all can go and shame white people on your timeline if you want, but these is my white people. You're not going to shame my white people.
Get your own white people.
Get your own. There's a whole bunch out there. You can go find some. But you're not going to come on my thread shaming my white people, because I know a lot of the oppression they done dealt with. I know the problems they done dealt with. But I told the same thing to my white people. I said, y'all not going to be on here shaming the black people, because you don't know the oppression and the problems and things they've been dealing with neither. We're going to have some educated discussions. We're going to I'm trying to figure out how the matrix works, right? Like, I don't have time for politics and bullshit. And most of the stuff that people throw out there, it's jargon and rants that they got from that damn television, making everybody stupid, forming their brain to grip a log like a monkey. No, I'm not doing that. So it's election season, and people going to get emotional. I'm already seeing it. You can see your friends list start doing that thing. It's like, okay,
oh man, already seeing it.
If you need to leave it, but I'm not going to sit here and play. If somebody says something smart in Washington, I'm gonna say that's smart. If somebody says something stupid,
I got you.
I'm gonna say that's stupid. Okay. And when we're all done, I'm gonna say we're all stupid. It's not a government. It's a government corporation. All they care about is profit. They can talk all the good stuff they want. At the end of the day, you are a commodity. That's all. The only reason they have all these topics in politics is to make it emotional, so we will all continue to vote for our enslavement.
Real shit.
Like the biggest thing that's got me since the last time we talked, Chris, is really etching in my mind that nobody in America owns land. It's etched in my mind, and I really don't even know where to put that. Like, it's from a slave mind perspective. Like, nobody in America.
Somebody own land. I'm gonna tell you like this: they hide it. They hide it. They ain't coming back out. They staying deep in the woods where they at. They ain't.
Yeah, right. And they're going to get them too.
They're going to find them eventually.
They can get you. Somebody
got the helicopters and planes flying over now.
One of the brothers told me that today, well, you don't like America, you need to go find yourself in the jungle someplace and go on and get there and go home. Right. And I was just like, well, where are you going to go? Where exactly are you going to go that the international billionaires that want
They're
every
gonna
damn
find
rock,
you, man. I'm trying to
every
tell you.
grass, leaf, land ever. You can't go anywhere. We are the generation that finally have to stand up and say enough is enough.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
Like you can't run, you can't hide, you know. And this is why, you know, people say, well, you know, got to get out in the street. I'm like, well, if you feel compelled to be in the street, then that's where you're supposed to be. If you feel compelled to be at home researching, then that's where you need to be.
Talk.
But wherever you are, you need to. Well, you don't need to do anything. You need to do anything you want. But wherever I am, I'm gonna do the best I can to stand up for the next generation on a principle basis, not on a Democrat basis, not a black, not an American basis. What does the next generation need? And because my ashy butt is here, what can I do to make sure that the next generation gets that and my ignorance and myself doesn't get in the way? That's all I feel.
I feel you. And this is the thing, this is just really the main thing that upsets me. And it's something that I just can't shake and understand why this is just so difficult. Across the board, even how you said, like some people are in the streets, some people are researching, some people are going here, doing this, going there, doing that. Why can't we find a way to combine the efforts? You know what I mean? Because we're supposedly all working for the same good of the next generations to come, or so that's what some people say. But why can't we combine our efforts in a way that we're strategically working in the way that we use all our abilities, but however different, because everybody has different abilities to do different things, and everybody has different experiences in different places. We have to combine this in a way that we can educate the young people in a way to make sure that they are, you know, understanding the world around them in a transparent manner that is not about bias. That's not about taking a side, or I'm taking this side. Oh, because you know, it starts when you're young. Oh, boys and girls. Boys, you gotta chill with the boys and girls, boys and girls, boys and girls. And then if you're a boy and you want to hang around with the girls a little bit more than you want to hang around the boys, guess what they do to you? If you're a girl and you want to hang around the boys a little bit more girls, it's a setup for that. And we can't even talk about that stuff no more because the narrative has been set for us. But we have to reevaluate all things for the purpose of making sure we provide the proper clarity to our young generations. And we have to do this in a way that is, you know, kind of, I don't want to say keeping up with the times, but keeping up with the pace of how information comes out in such a rapid way. Because deceptive information can come out. You know, they're telling you one thing today, tomorrow they could switch it up on you, you know, and you're getting it all at lightning speed now, you know, so we can create narratives and pass them around at lightning speed if we do it in a way that is collective effort. You know, we got to put a collective effort together to where we say it's not about red party or blue party. It's not about white or black. It's not about, oh, you got this and I got that. No, it's about how are we going to make sure we level the playing field in the environments all around for the young. You know what I mean? So now it's like, segregation and the integration thing is so crucial because we've missed a lot of substance on that because it was decided before we got here. You know what I mean? The whole segregation, integration, and then the divisiveness surrounding that. It was decided before we got here, but in the environment of chaos, you know? So what ensued was integration in a way that, you know, presented a lot of disadvantages. You know what I'm saying? And we have to reevaluate all these things that transpired in the environments of hate. So even if it was the civil rights era, even if it was the banking shit that happened back in the days, and if it even was the riots and political exile and stuff like that, we have to reevaluate everything with our new understanding because we have entirely new thought based on this modernized society around us. And we understand now that it's not a physical race reality. You know, I'm not in chains no more, so I can't be as if my brother has this mind frame already programmed about me, but I can't figure out the way to break through that in my own right based on, you know, my own understanding now to say that, yo, he's not really racist. He's programmed to be that way. But I'm sure that if we busted up, we talked, I can break through that by, you know, presenting myself in a way that is sensible to our common interests. You know what I mean? But not only our common interests, but our common nature. You know what I mean? Because we're all here to love. You know what I mean? We're all here to love, and we're all here to do things together. You know what I mean? But
and apart.
No. Also apart. Yeah, no. Also apart.
I need to hit a few things that you just said.
Okay.
One is right. Everybody has a job to do, and we have to have enough respect for each other to let them do that job. Right. You know, all we can do is show people we love them, like Sister Lori said, and tell them what we think. Tell them, listen, I got your back. This is what I do with all my friends. I got your back. If you're speaking your experience, I got your back. You don't have to worry about me turning on you. I'm not in any teams. I have no groups. I have no affiliations. I'm not suffering from groupthink, mental illness in any form, fashion. And you go do you, right? Whatever your passion is, you don't go do you. And I really don't care if you get my back. I don't really care about things like that. Like I know what I'm supposed to do, you know, being here. I'm gonna say things that are true, and I'm gonna kick rocks. I'm gonna go about my way, you go about your way. We are a collective web where we have to respect each other in the space that they are in, at the time that they're at the level that they're at. This is why I don't have any issue with people voting for Donald Trump. I don't have any issue with people voting for Joe Biden. None of that bothers me because I voted back. I don't remember.
I voted last election.
You're right.
I voted for comeback before too.
And I'm saying thank you for turning on the light. I appreciate that.
I was like, man, I'm getting kind of black in this joint. They can't see, you know, my black hue and all this light and don't go right. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you need to smile like that. You know, listen, we can tell
everybody probably like, yo, I can't see this guy, man. What's wrong with this guy? G got on, you all black and stuff.
But you know what? I will say this too. Not only is poverty a blessing, but being black as hell in a race called black people was a blessing too. You know why? Because like I said, I remember growing up, Chris, and because I got this dark skin, it allowed me to see things people with darker skin and light skin didn't see. It allowed me to realize that most of my friends that's arguing, yelling, screaming, fussing, fighting about racism on my profile that I grew up with, that they faking the funk. They lying, they're playing these damn games. They had green eyes, they had light skin, they got all the girls way back in the day. Black, nappy-headed afro, but had to go home because the black people was the most racist people, colorist people I ever met before I met any white people. I only had a few white people at my high school, and they were not racist because they were killed, murdered, and hung them. They was getting along, they was good folk because they knew better. It was like 99% Negro at the school.
Okay. So you already know how that is. You know what I mean?
I didn't, you know what?
I can't even hit you if I was talking about then. I can't hit you then.
No, I laugh, brother, because it's funny. It's funny that the first racist people I ever came across was black people.
Okay. I get you. I got you. That's normal for black people, I guess you could say. That's normal for black people.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Right? Because we are born in a society that teaches prejudice to people. You just have to be honest about that prejudice.
Right, because you have to be honest about it.
Be honest about it and move on. Sister just asked me, is this GMO water? I forgot the sister asked me.
That's some GMO water you drinking.
You know why? You know why it's GMO water? Because glyphosate everywhere. It's GMO toxins everywhere. I pay my taxes. I've been voting. So the government did that obligation. Poison the food, the water,
and I'm gonna drink it.
Plastic. I guarantee you, this is the small microplastics that's gonna end up in my body and try to create some cancer. I need my bananas a day and did my monkey thing.
You canceled it out. Okay, you canceled it out.
I'm being honest. Like I'm gonna be honest with people. I don't need to lie to anyone because I don't care what anybody.
You gotta fake the funk, like you know. And that's another thing, man. It's like a. Again, this shit is always gets turned into a competition for some reason. You know what I mean? Oh, you ain't this enough. You ain't that enough. You ain't this and that. No. I respect the fact that people as individuals in this experience, whether you're black, whether you're white, whatever the case, it's the individual thing to me. But when it just comes down to how we're taught in society, how we box our thinking in. So it's like we'll perceive a whole race of people as we see only a few individuals. You know what I mean? This is what's sad about the current racial divide right now is like black people and white people are assuming that mental position where they just assume this race of people is this way because of the few people that they see. And this is due to the lack of real education that they have to learn from these folks. You know what I mean? And it's also from being raised in environments that are not integrated enough. Like you said, the 99% was black, and the few white kids, they had to experience a reality that was based on the external environments. You know, I'm not gonna say detrimental to their upbringing, but a different experience than the white folks that were the 99% to the 1 or 2% black folks. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that also, I guess you could say, dictates our communication. So you know how the people that do grow up in those suburban areas, they don't communicate the same as the people that grow up in the hood. You know what I mean? So now we have a disconnect in our one of those bridges that we need to bond our efforts and make our shit collective. We don't have because of the I guess you could say disgust, you know, or distaste. You know, it's the I mean, why am I talking to them bougie ass motherfuckers? They don't understand what I'm going through. They ain't even trying to understand what I'm going through. You know what I mean? Fuck them, keep them over there. I'm gonna stay over here. You know what I mean? And the same way they're looking around like, oh, those people are just this and that and blah, 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 blah. And this is seen through, I guess, educational levels as well. You know, when you got the college degree types that tend to stick with the college degree types, but you also have those diverse bodies of communities within, you know, and they present us with the evidence that we need to go off of. This shit is all good when we come together and move together and operate together and, you know, embrace the individuality of the people around us. You know what I mean? Because I have that group of friends right now. Like my shit is all across the board. Trump supporters, blue supporters, no supporters, learning, don't give a damn, white, black, I got all this stuff, you know, in my own personal reality. And that helps me to understand that, yo, we could all do this shit in a different way. You know what I mean? We ain't got to be fighting and dividing like we're doing now, because it's just something that's destructive to our progress. You know, and I'm not saying it's about being a progressive or anything like that, but it's the progress is, you know, a body of people. And we're all in this shit together, especially, like I said earlier, as a working class. So if anything you're talking about isn't, you know, associated with that understanding that, look, are they working just like I'm working and paying taxes just like I'm paying taxes? Well, we got to do what we got to do together, because the operations is presenting us with an illusion that it's about race. The politics of the day's operations ain't got shit to do with race. You know what I mean? I mean, it does it does it minimally, but the operation got to do with money. Like I was saying, it's the business. You know what I mean? And for Donald Trump and his goons, it's business as usual. He don't give a damn if you like him. He don't give a damn if you don't like him. This is to do with politicians as well. The motherfuckers like, oh, I hate this politician. I hate Nancy Pelosi. I hate Chuck Schumer. They all scumbags in my eyes. So I talk shit about, oh, Mitch McConnell. Oh, Paul Ryan. Oh, these guys. They don't give a damn about you. They sleeping happy at night. They sleep. They got their 5-star amenities and they might even get chaperoned around all damn day. They don't care a damn about you. They don't care what. And this is on both sides. So it don't matter what. It's like, this is what we gotta leave. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to. You have to leave, come together, organize, inform. Love, you know what I mean? Love. That's one simple thing we could do. Love a little bit. And I said, oh, I got chewed up. Gee, I said, black people gotta love white people more, and they grinding me up, man. They said I was lost my damn mind. You know what I mean? I was just saying some shit that's like.
Why are you trumping?
They said it was bad timing, you know, with the black lives, you know, all of that. But I'm like, yo, this is the reality, because if you want people to understand and know you better, you have to reach out and express a little bit of understanding and want to know them too. You know what I mean? You can't just say, oh, I know who they are. I know who they are because they show me and this and that. No, they was programmed to be that hateful. Yes. You think you was programmed to be that hateful in return. You know what I mean?
Exactly what Christy Sharp said right there.
But they didn't put to the bank
at us. They laughing like hell. They think we're the funniest, silliest monkeys in the zoo. We yell and fight each other over birth. You were born there. They were born there. And they're laughing. Billionaires.
It's worldwide. World motherfucking wild.
The ones who own us are laughing like hell at how ignorant and immature and silly and stupid we are. And as much as we are, I love every last one of them. I love every last one of them, and I got all their backs. I don't really care who you vote for. A good example the brother just gave for talking about fighting and stuff. Okay. I live in the neighborhood, and every now and then people get to acting up. And I have to admit, there was It was somebody yelling at a woman the other day over there. I was sitting out there, and I had my sons out there. We were working in the garden.
And yelling at the neighbor.
Well, it happens. People fall in love, and
for sure enough.
Everybody's been through it, right?
Everybody been
outside yelling, your business is out.
Acting crazy.
The lady looked over at me, and I looked at her, and she looked at the dude, and I looked at the dude,
and you turned around.
Honestly, it was a social contract at that point. I let him know I'm standing here. I see that that's a woman. I got her back, but I got your back too, in case she can beat a lot of you. Women at that martial arts now, man, they studying. They've been watching y'all monkeys for a minute, and sometimes they have a shank, a knife, or something. And I looked at both of us. I got your back. Y'all can yell out here, scream, yell, because you got the penis.
I'm watching y'all crazies.
Somebody act up. I'm gonna get involved. Yeah. And I looked at him.
Mediator. You were the mediator.
I looked at him. Social contract. I went right back to gardening. That's it. Y'all can fuss, holler, because I know white people problems.
I'm still right over here.
Everybody people problems. I'm right here. Let you know. I come over there if I need to. I don't want to. But
silent contract. That's the silent contract.
We all need to be obligated to the social contract, right? Nobody gets abused on your watch. Period. End of story.
You can't now. They sent guns to the hood. They sent guns to the hood. You can't do that in the hood. I mean, because that was the norm back in the day. There was a social contract with the community. We looking out for all the kids. We looking out for the safety. And this is all up and down the block, around the corner. We know all y'all. We're going to make sure that the parents was unified. You know what I mean?
I used to get beat by people, and I ain't know I know your father.
I'm trying to tell you. And then you get the call. They call you, hey, Janine. Yeah, Ray was acting up, and I put something on. You did? Well, guess what? He got something coming when you get home too. You know what I mean? You get home like, Miss Ray, Miss Denise did this to me, and she's like, oh, guess what? Get your ass up there because you got something. But this is, I don't know. You know what I mean? That's just how it was back in the day. It was a more community approach, But that's what kept you away from the police, I guess. You know what I mean? They know that that's what kept you away from the external shit that might go down. You know what I mean? If you kept on being that nuisance, that nuisance got out to the real world, I guess, the operational world and everything like that, it wasn't a good look, so the community had to look out. But this is the approach we have to take with each other. We have to go back and look out for each other. We have to look out for each other. You know what I mean?
And not just in domestic violence situations, whatever, but politically, if that's what you're doing.
Okay. Right? Okay. Politically,
that's what you're doing. Yeah. At work, if that's what you're doing. Instead of going along with a conflict-based society, thinking you're in conflict with all these other people that you don't know, you need to start looking out for people.
You know what I think, though, G? It has to be the kids. That's it. You know what I mean? This shit is easy to me. For me, it's real easy. It has to be the children. We all have to start looking out for the children. Who gives a damn what that adult think or what those adults? We have to look out for the children. So I'm going to put on, how we put on that mask to go into work and be all fraudulent and all this stuff to go along and get that check. I don't want to say you had to put a mask on, but we have to put a mask on in order to tackle the very, very hard reality of today's time. We have to look out for the damn children because one, not only are we losing them in the health aspect, we're taking their immunity away from them. You know what I mean? So now they run around. They got the kids. Kids ain't got shit to do with the virus, but they got masks on. So I'm just confused at that. So that one's right there, but oh God, what the hell's going on? But we're not nurturing their minds. Think about this. We afraid. Millions and millions of adults afraid. The kids ain't got nothing to do with this shit. Now they wondering why they got to be afraid too. I got to be afraid. Mom, why I got to wear the damn mask? What you mean? Cause son, you got this. These people said it. These people said don't talk back. Put the mask on. Put the damn. Running around treating our kids with all this anger and chaos and dysfunctionality. And you know what that does? It allows them to think it's okay for the systems around them to be dysfunctional too, because hey, that's just the way life goes. It's dysfunctional, so I'll get my comfortable position in the dysfunction and just live that way, happily, nappily ever after. You You know, we gotta see the kids though. We have to see the kids. That's my thing. You know what I mean?
It has to be about the next generation
Got to
because
be, man.
we didn't ruin so much being selfish little bastards. We've been doing so much.
I helped. I helped. Yeah, I'm telling you. And I thought about that shit. I'm like, damn, I need to catch up. I need to go. You know how much I got to do to counter all the hurt I had to put on the kids of the next generation?
Yeah.
I got to go back. And this is nothing that I'm like, oh, I'm guilty. No, you assess the situation realistically. You're not trying. It's not feelings of guilt and all that fake shit. No, this is real reality. I done so much to cause hurt to the next generations. Now that I've come to an awareness that I'm fucked up and did that and all that other stuff or whatever stuff, you know, my ignorance has led to, we have to change and do better. We have to change and go. We have to counter all those actions with different actions. You know what I mean? So now all the programming I did to where it's like, I don't have to care about, no, I don't like kids. You know, I don't want no kids. Keep them kids away from me, this and that. And I love kids though. You know what I mean? But it's like, I didn't give it. Oh, well, that's their parents' fault. The parents got to deal with that. The parents do it. No, we all got to deal with that shit. You know what I mean? Because we're going to be old one day.
And your kids got to deal with it.
My kids are going to have to deal with it. And our children are going to have to deal with it. And if they don't have the mental wherewithal, because right now we're in a deep era of mental trauma. It's not being talked about. Nothing's really being done about it because they make you feel like you're weak. So if you have mental trauma, oh, you're depressed. You need to do this. You need to do that. Oh, take these pills. Go to this therapist that don't really give a damn. Some therapists is good, by the way. Go to these therapists that's really not going to understand or try to break down and understand your situation from the modern assessment of things, but they'll do it in the book aspect of the educational of the things that happen in history. But the environments are changing. So the mental trauma changes as well as the environments around it. We're dealing with a new type of a chaos of the mind. You know what I mean? This is not the same old chaos when we didn't have all this lightning fast shit happening and rapid pace of life that's going on around us. You know, people got issues on top of issues that are coming at them at lightning speed here. And you know what I mean? Before you had to, you know, work, go home, maybe do a little this, do a little that, and all this shit. Relationships of, oh, it's just my wife and, you know, we get along. Now you got the dating apps and you got the attention here, attention there. You need attention from this. You need attention. It's just so crazy because everything that we're searching for isn't what we really need. That's what I'm starting to feel like. You know what I mean? Because we should be searching to have a deeper connection with each other. In the way that when we get into the political arenas, guess what we're not doing? We know it's not about fighting each other. You know, we know it's about understanding and listening to one another. Because guess what? We all got to work for the same operations. So with understanding that, we're going to try some new approaches that we never tried before. You know what I mean? In order to save the next generations, but somewhat ourselves. You know what I mean? Somewhat ourselves and shit. So it's like, you send all the comments. I will read some. I've been seeing the comments. I love them. It says, laziness is strong programming installed. I guess that's a good one too. Yeah. Who said that? Sandy said that. Oh, you're popping them up on the screen too?
Yeah,
mental trickery. We can flip the switch. Yeah, there you go. I think we can flip the switch. It's hard to flip the switch sometimes, but information helps flip the switch. You know, you have to be willing to accept new information. And that's why I tell a lot of people around me, you know, because they want to still let things be, you know, discerned based on the old information. But new information flips the switch for sure enough.
I think it's easy. I think flipping the switch is easy if you have the program. Right. If you still have feet that are formed to grab the log or to fit in tennis shoes, then you got a bit of a challenge. I think, you know, if you can look at the next generation, you can say the next generation is more important to me than me. The next generation is more important than my group. All groups have gone through all things. All groups have dealt with all those things, and everybody's carrying that trauma forward. I think if you can prioritize the next generations, I think it's easy. And it's what you said, which is just walk away. Like we're not fighting anything. There's nothing to fight, right? We pay the taxes. We consent to everything they do, every bomb they drop, every person they kill on the street. We can get out there and protest all we want, but until we realize that we are protesting against ourselves, our own consent, then we got a problem. And this is what I was thinking about earlier this morning. I don't know if you caught it. I was saying that, you know, if you look at the top of every political movement, every civil rights, women's rights, whatever rights you want to come, LGBTQ, whatever you want to come up with, the type of every movement is government. The top of every movement is a politician. It's politics, right? It's corrupt at the top of every movement at all times, if they're ever big enough to be on TV. And what is the top of every police department? Corruption, politics, law, right? Taking your rights, selling it to corporations. And so the thing is that if the top of all the tools they give you is actually the same people and the same corruption, then it's the system that we're actually holding up. It is these systematic operations that they give you a tool to solve the problems that they'll never solve, because the problems are only problems for you. They're not problems for the system. The system needs to churn out that profit. It needs to use people as commodities. So until people, I think about things at a systematic level, then they're just going to be fighting themselves, right? So I'm not saying don't protest. I'm not saying protest. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying whatever you do, judge the result. And if the result is what you want, then keep doing. If the result is not what you want, if you are literally helping the system to churn out more white, black, whatever bodies and continue to make things worse and worse and worse and put the next generation in a worse circumstance, then I'll do it again. It's a system. Without belief, it collapses. That's my point.
I didn't know. You know what? I'm telling you, G, it's going to collapse. You know what I mean? It's going to either be, it's going to be like this. It's going to be by the organization of the people, or it's going to be at the discretion of the billionaires and just the ultra rich, or whatever you want to call them. You know what I mean? And we have a decision. You know, we have to make a decision at this time. Are we going to sacrifice the things that we can sacrifice in order to rebuild and restructure based on the modern setting? You know, because a lot of the things still going on in today's reality are still connected to a lot of the colonial thinking, the colonial thought and logic that was applied to the political system and infrastructure. And we all know what was going on at that time. So we have a new reality that we have to face when it comes to government, I guess you could say, and the operations that is connected with it.
I can answer Sister Nora real quick.
What she said.
So walking away is difficult when there's nowhere to go.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Degrees for now.
Yeah, see, there it goes. That's what I'm talking about. It's difficult when it politically. That's why people say, "Oh, I'm voting Democrat," because there's nowhere else to go. You know what I mean? They're like, "What else do I do?" Because I want to do my duty. You know what I mean? I get that completely. And you have nowhere else to go. So what I'm like, oh, well.
Is there truly nowhere to go?
No,
is there truly nowhere to go? No, of course it's somewhere to go. We don't want to go where the only other place we can go is, or we don't know of all the places we can go. Those are my questions.
The thing is, this is just the reality of what it's been for the last decade. We don't want to put the effort in because it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of time. But I guess what it also takes? A lot of confronting your own beliefs and where you stand. You know what I mean? The own things that you did, because many people voted Democrat for years based on their beliefs. And to ask them to change their mind and go a new way, and for the sake of the generations to come, you would need, I guess, you know, a great agenda. You know, when it comes to policies, agendas, and things like that, an agenda that is for the long term, you know, realistic to them. You know, because everybody thinks it's not realistic to start a new party with the way that the two-party system is set up. It's just not realistic. And the reason why it's not realistic is because we haven't really spent any time thinking about how real it can be. In order for anything to become a reality, you have to take time and think about how real it can be. So we have to take time in informing ourselves, but sharing information on the possibilities, because the way we got here was because these the forefathers, which they said was great men, they had a different reality than them damn English motherfuckers that they was trying to get away from. And they said, oh, we can do this for the rest of our lives and let our children be suffering under these crazy fools. Or guess what? We can put our minds together and figure out a way to create a new reality. But the sad part of that reality was it was on somebody else's land, you know what I mean? Or somebody else, they had to dispossess people up in land and were on inhabiting. But that's what it took. It took for them to come together. It wasn't just a one man. No, a few families came together and said, look, we're going to do this. We're going to do this shit. And other people were like, you can never. How? You idiots. You guys are foolish. How are you going to escape the king? How are you going to escape the England, the empire? We can't escape it. And when they went and did that shit, these guys was like, oh, what? No, these motherfuckers was really serious because that's what they was dedicated. Even though they went to drastic lengths to get where they was. We don't have to go to those drastic lengths anymore. We just have to change our minds. That's it. We have to change our minds.
Change your minds.
That's it.
That's where you go. That's where you go. Because the sister said a minute ago, it takes courage. It does take courage. But let me ask you, would you know, I get in trouble every time I say it. I don't even really care what people think. But I agree with Kanye West.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I know, most of it is nonsense to me.
Okay.
But the one thing he said that was very deep that people disagree with, and I don't care if you disagree, but the bottom line is slavery is a choice. It has always been a choice. It will always be a choice, and we choose it right now. For the context that he said that in, we need to think about it for the modern time, right? So where do you go? Where does it matter if you go? Right? Would slavery exist if everybody on the plantation got together and said, you know what? Nah, we ain't gonna do this no more. Master get out there, get upset. Well, I'm gonna whip you. I'm gonna put you in prison. I'm gonna make you pay some taxes. I'm gonna spend the higher. Nah, we ain't gonna work no more. We're done. We're cool. We decided that we're not slaves anymore. Right. And they can kill everybody on the plantation. And then you get the next crew. Then you buy them. And nobody works.
Right. Over and over and over.
Time do you realize? So what does the plantation do at that point? It realizes, oh wow, they don't really believe in this anymore. They're not buying it. This is a plantation system. It needs slaves to operate. We need forced labor slaves to go to the office every damn morning and work for money that billionaires print that don't do a damn thing for the money. No, we don't do this no more. Right. The system will capitulate to you when you stop consenting to it. That's it. It is a system. The only thing, and this is where being a systems engineer kind of, I try to share what I know.
Okay, for sure enough.
Systems point. The whole purpose of the system is to exist. If anything questions its existence, it will capitulate to that thing. You are the thing. You are a commodity. If you refuse to work for people who ain't never done a damn thing for you ever, it will bow to your demands because its main goal is survival, right? But you have to have the courage and you got to be willing to say, I'm gonna walk away. Well, where you gonna go? Massa, I don't even get damn where I go. To be honest with you,
know now.
I decided it don't get no worse. Right. You don't get no worse than sitting on this plantation, being whooped for you. I'm done. And when people are done consenting and they realize that anything is better than today, and they stop voting for these criminals and consenting in all the ways. Voting is only one of them. Not
voting is only. Voting is the.
You vote on a daily basis. You vote with what you post. You vote with where you go.
How you spend your money.
You vote because there are people who don't vote and they shop at Walmart every day, right? So it's, you know, and we all buy gas. Right, you drive a car, you buy gas, and where does gas come from? It's literally a stolen commodity from another country. So we're all consenting to the system. We will never all ever be able to walk away together unless, if it's all together. But all we can do, which is why I don't judge anybody, Chris. I say you pick and choose the things at the level you're at, how your mind works, that you can walk away from the billionaire elites that own every damn thing. If enough people can just find that enough things to walk away from, the system collapses. You'll scare the hell out of it. It just wants to exist. It just wants black people to think they're black. It wants white people to think they're white. It wants Puerto Ricans to think they're Puerto Rican. It doesn't want them to think that they're Tanos. They're a tribe that was there long before they got here. It doesn't want black people to think there are 20,000 tribes from all over Africa and some of the Olmecs that were here in America when they got here. And it doesn't want white folks to think they're not Irish, right? They're not British. There were multiple different tribes in that land where some billionaire showed up and named everybody. Right?
Hold on. Thousands of religions. Sorry, I had to say that. Thousands of religions. Never mind. But this is real, G. We just gotta we gotta be dedicated. We gotta be more dedicated to each other in a way that is wholesome. You know what I mean? Because everybody can get caught up in the bullshit, whether it's about, and it's like, all these different communities that you see on Facebook. It's not really relatable to what's going on in real life, in real time. You know what I mean? Because the communities on Facebook, you can structure things about what y'all all care about, and then you can center that around the one topic or whatever the case you got going on. But in real life, it's multiple things going on and transpiring at the same damn time. So you actually we have to have an ability to be able to fluctuate with those levels. When you're dealing with people, you have to understand, like, all right, yeah, maybe you might not want to deal with somebody that supports Donald Trump, but for the sake of progress, for the, generational connection, we have to communicate with these people over stuff that is common issues. You know what I mean? We have to communicate with these people over things that matter to all of us, because it's not like, oh, I'm a conservative flag flying and I hate I'm a fly the flag. I'm a fly. That's the distraction. That's the distraction right there. The symbol, the signs and symbols are the distractions of the times. Because at the heart, would you say, G, go ahead?
I said the labels. What George Carlin said.
The labels too. Distraction.
For the simple-minded.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. And it's like
my beliefs mostly align with what you consider conservative. But there is no damn way in hell I'm ever going to adopt that name, because I believe in the teachings of Christ, not the ones that I want to pick and choose, but I believe in the teachings. I don't agree with most conservatives in their actions, but in their beliefs, right? If I'm supposed to love everybody, if I'm supposed to work for the free will of everybody, if I'm supposed to give everybody the shirt off my back if they need it and I have it to give, if I'm supposed to feed everybody and make sure they get the healing that they need, you can call it universal health care. I tend to call that disease management. But I do the things that I feel we're supposed to do. The labels are the distraction that get you to do what somebody else wants you to do, right? Like my latest thought pattern is people don't exist, right? There's no such thing as conservative people. There's no such thing as liberal people. There's no such thing as black people nor white people. People is an unscientific term and a label they give to the ignorant and gullible who are happy to take it on. You are a person. People don't have an experience. There is no white experience. There's no black experience. There's no woman experience. They all have it very, very different. The only scientific valuable piece of information is the experience of a person. So more and more, I'm focusing on a person. And this comes from, Martin Luther King's teachings that, you don't judge a person by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. Yeah. Right. And that character is formed by experiences of the person, not of a people. Yeah. So I don't do anything as a people. I'm not a part of any people. I'm not a part of a subhuman group from fear to be categorized. Everybody's person is very, very different. And I think if we can value persons more than people, and valuable. Invaluable. Needs to be heard, right? And a person in Antifa or Black Lives Matter or the skinheads of the Ku Klux Klan that has a personal experience that should not be heard. We are the fools if we don't listen to the people who've been complaining for the longest time, and we have privilege to not join rough, violent, or aggressive groups. We're fools if we don't listen to those people, because they only talk for but a while, and when they're done talking, then they're going to get to acting in violence. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them for being survivalists in survival mode. We as a people who know better keep them there because we don't listen, because we let ignorant politicians and ignorant leaders to turn us against people who are just trying to be heard. It's like a kid in the store, right? You see the kid in the store, and the kid doesn't get the chocolate bar or whatever, and the mama got him on the leash, and she just dragging them into Walmart. Just dragging on the floor. He grabbing everything on every shelf he can and knock everything down. And you just watching the craziest things I watch on the rare times I'm forced to go to that damn store. And I'm just watching them. Like all that baby is telling you is something is wrong, and it's trying to get attention because something is wrong. And when people realize there's no such thing as hate speech, there's no such thing as hate groups and hate crimes. There are people who are acting out because they need to be heard. And when you're grown enough to realize that you need to be listening to these people, that's when you're going to start breaking the paradigm. Right? This is why they want you to fight fire with fire, right? This is why you have racism and racist terms being used and pretending that they're fighting racism when they're not. They're stirring up more racism. When you're out there, people in the streets, you are literally causing Black people to be shot. I know you think that you're helping. I know that you think you're doing great. And we love the love that you have, but you are literally causing people to die because you won't do your research. When I say listen to persons, listen to their experience. Don't do what they tell you. These people are in survival mode. They ain't got nothing. They didn't have nothing 2.5 months ago. They've been on lockdown for 2.5 months. They are supposed to be at your target, burning it and stealing everything they can before they burn it. Don't go out there and do what they do. Listen to their pain and let's respond to that.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
Fire with water.
I'm gonna tell you, G.
Said that?
Fred Hampton.
Fred Hampton. You fight
Fred
fire.
Hampton. But he did say, don't fight racism with racism. Fight racism with solidarity. And that's where we stand at today. We're supposed to fight. We're supposed to be operating politically around solidarity. You know what I mean? Not that fake solidarity was, racist over there, racist over there, racist over racist over there, be with us, racist over there, be with us, racist over there, be with us. It's like it's a party. That's not cool. We're supposed to be fighting. We're supposed to be working on solidarity through and through. You know what I mean? Because if we're not going to be solidified as a diverse body of people of how the world is representative, we're not going to be able to do shit against these governments that are operating based on half of the world's damn resources under the control, hostage, kidnapped, and stealing the theft of the minds of the people. Like, you can't do nothing if you're just adding more fire to that crazy burning flame already. You know, we have to, I'm only 1 cup of water. You dig what I'm saying? We need about 100 million more cups of water to put out this flame. You understand? I'm only 1 cup. And I 1,000 cups ain't gonna do no good. You dig me? We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it little. What we gonna do with 1,000 cups in this huge burning house?
I love that analogy. Everybody has a cup of love. Everybody has a cup of love. And can't nobody do it for you, right? Chris can't do it. I can't do it. All we can do is drop our little cup on the little influence we have. But if anything we said makes sense to Yvonne Taylor, and she pours that love cup out, and Tiffany and Diane and Thomas and Lori, Kat, Mary, all the people here, then you start having an overflowing of love, and nobody fights love, right? Nobody does that, right? These angry people, when you start to hear them, they're realizing that you care. Right. And while I'll admit there probably are a 0.01% of just people in the psychopathic spectrum that are going to hate you, want to drag you from the back of a car no matter what you want to do. Those are people that we have psychologists for. Okay, however you want to do it.
You give a good.
Listen, I'm positive. I'm positive because I spent a lot of time in the Deep South.
I got you.
And I tell you, I mean, there are a lot of very solid values in those communities of these people that I'm told I'm supposed to hate. But my parents broke me because they would take me from the Washington, D.C. area and ship me and my brothers down to Arkansas, a little town called El Dorado. And oh man, the racism. You just don't know racism till you've been down there deep in the jungle. And the thing was, though, the people there were nicer to me than the people in the Washington, D.C. area.
Okay.
The white folk there in El Dorado, Arkansas, back in the 70s and 80s, were not, did I say that? I mean, the 90s and the 2000s, because I'm 29. They were nicer to me back then than black people were in Washington, D.C. And so the core value programming is there. The default condition of the human being is love and kindness and consideration until the emotions get people going, right? Scarcity gets them going. You want to take my land. You want to take my resources. You want to take my job. You want to take my debit card or you know, my TANF check or my welfare. When
my
you start
little bit of the money's out my paycheck.
Little thing that I got that you, and then you start to drum. So anyway, I mean, the whole point is, I love your analogy, and that point is that there are no leaders, right? There are no leaders. I'm not. Chris don't want to lead nobody, and I don't. I'm too old for that. I'm 29. I'm trying to retire, find me a little mountain somewhere and relax, a little cabin, something like that.
Nice little farm or something with it. You know what I mean?
Right. We ruin people by following them. Right. What is wrong with Donald Trump? He's got millions of people behind him. What's wrong with Barack Obama? He's got millions of people behind him. And if you would like to see me become them, all you got to do is line up behind me and do what I do or say what I say. That's stupid. You need to have your own critical thought. You know, process what Chris said, process what I'm saying, process what these people are commenting right here. And if that makes sense to you, then you go take that cup of love that you got and you pour it on somebody that you ain't supposed to.
Pull up.
Pour
up some more up.
Pour it out on somebody that your indoctrination tells you that you're not. Make that person question their very existence. Because no wonder why in the world, if I'm taught that you are this, that, and the other, that you a crazy hillbilly, a crazy dude that drives a truck with a gun rack and a Dixie flag, and you hate me, and you pulled over and you gave me money so I can go buy some lunch, or you pulled over and were kind to me in some sort of way. It questions their narrative. If you see somebody like that, right, and you help them, right, somebody trying to cross the street, you know, you wasn't thinking, you had your pants sagging, got that white t-shirt on, dragging, look like a thug, whatever, and you know what the right thing to do is, you go do that, and that person who you think might hate you,
they know this won't be all right, man. The world, everything won't be all right. I'm trying to tell you, this is what people
keep our little cups to ourselves, and we like to keep our own little communities, and we need to be flooding those cups into the neighborhoods of the people who need to realize that we do give a damn about it. We may not understand them. May not understand them.
But our actions speak volumes. And you will let them know that it's going to be all right. The TV lying to me. The politicians is lying to me. These people that I've been told to hate are actually good. Because guess what, Jimmy Ray? I've experienced it myself. I got a testimony. You know what I mean? Gee, that's what you want to make somebody have a testimony about the love that was shared with them. That's what you're supposed to go and do. Don't be like, oh, well, I can't stand these people because they think like this politically, they think like that politically. Who gives a damn about all that political mumbo jumbo? Go and pour up some love on people and see what it will do. You know what I'm saying? Gee, it will blow your mind. Because when you don't see color and you're pouring up love for everybody, life will show you that it's going to be all right. Because we got each other. You know what I mean? That's the connection of when you act in love for anybody and everybody, and you just do it because that's what you're supposed to do. You feel that confirmation, your damn self. It's not just about the person that you're doing this. It's about you too. You feel the presence of love that will rise up throughout all people if they just pulled up some more damn love. You know what I mean? And you can share your testimony with the rest of the world, or your family and friends or whatever. They might think you're crazy. You know what I mean? What the hell you were doing with them folks? Stay away from them people. Stay away from Donald Trump types. Stay away from black. Stay away from them gays. Stay away from these things. No. Embrace the people. with love. You feel me? Not with the political need to talk politically. Embrace people with just love. All right, leave that shit out of it first. People,
not the politicians.
Yeah, not the.
Look what Brother Thomas just wrote.
What he said. Oh,
are responsible for gaslighting these puppets to the point they believe their own hype, which is why you can't even judge the leader. Right?
Can't even
we raise them up on pedestals, and that's how you ruin people.
And they love it. It's like a sports star. They love the fans,
and they're supposed
I'm doing it for the fans. I do this because I'm good at the game. I'm good at I'm doing this for the fans. I mean, yeah, I get paid millions of dollars, and I really shouldn't be getting paid millions of dollars. But hey, I do it for the fans. Politicians, they do it for their fans. As long as they got fans, guess what? They gonna keep putting on the show. Donald Trump, he gonna keep putting it. Joe Biden, I don't know how many fans he got. Do he really got fans? But I don't know. Maybe he working on getting some fans, but he gonna put on the show. Cause look, I'm telling you right now, brother G, people ain't going for Biden right now. They're like, no, man, this ain't it. This is what we got against Donald Trump. Oh my God, I gotta go for this. I gotta really vote for Joe, but they going.
I'm so glad they put
Joe Biden. You need to be quiet, please. Joe Biden. They're not saying, listen, get me a real candidate. They're not saying that, G. Get me a real candidate. They're saying, oh my God, I really gotta vote for this guy. So why can't he just be quiet? This is sick. I gotta go. But I'm just saying, this is sick stuff, man. Sick.
It's showing people how the system actually works.
Yes.
You don't have a choice. You've never had a choice, and you will never have a choice until the system fears you no longer support.
Right. There you go.
So it's time to walk away. You go ahead and give us the last word and close out. I'm gonna finish eating my salad with my hand.
All right. Well, I'm just last word gonna be short.
Nobody said nothing. I'm eating salad with my hand, and the government says you're supposed to wash your hands, and I'm not washing my hands, man.
Put the hand sanitizer on at the
I ain't got
last bite.
House. I've been eating salad like this since I was a kid. I'm gonna eat my salad.
I mean, that's the way though. That's connected. That's what you look. Your hand really. I mean, you see this hand right here? It's like a little sound. It's a sound vibration in there somewhere. You might not see. You don't see it, but it is, and it connect with your food, the plants you touch. It's a sound vibration in there. You know what I mean? You don't see it. You don't see it. I don't know. It's a sound. I mean, you could figure it out scientifically, whatever. But the last words is G. We just have to pour them cups of love. Even though we want to talk politically, we want to talk. We want to engage politically. We want to be all on this side and on that. No, we must pour up cups of love with our activity. That's what it is. You know what I mean? Because when we do that, we reaffirm to people. Because right now we're at a time where people are thinking the world is crazy and messed up and all this other junk.
They're not wrong. It's murder. It's trying to kill people with Zika. Is cuckoo viruses, is Russians and Chinamen, and there's all kind of evil, crazy stuff out there. All kind of evil. Ain't wrong about that.
We just got to make sure that we love people more. You know what I mean? Because that's what's missing. We spend so much time and energy hating based on the political realities, the social realities, the economic realities. We spend a lot of time hating. We need to dedicate more energy and more time to loving, not just through actions, but sometimes through words as well. You know, I see a lot of shit on Facebook, and then people love the sauce. They don't love the love. When you're posting stuff that's about love and this and that and nature, they ain't really love. When you're posting Donald Trump's finest and Joe Biden's craziest, they loving all that. They're watching it a million times and loving it and liking it. But then when you post stuff that's about positive and unity and shit like that, they not really, you know what I mean, all for that unless you somebody mainstream or something like that. But we just have to, on the individual level, pour up more cups of love every day, all day, not just with your family. No, not just with your friends.
It's easy to do that.
All the people that you think you don't like, pour up love for. The people. Well, no. I'm not even going to say that. But just pour up love. You know what I mean? Just pour up love. And now G's eating bananas. But I gotta go, y'all. Thank you, G, for having me on, man. I appreciate that. We gotta talk again sometime.
We gotta get back on a regular schedule, but
I get back on a regular schedule. I just got
the struggle ain't a lot, bro.
it ain't
We'll be back on the schedule.
You already know time is real. But we will connect. But shout out to the beautiful people and everybody. Just keep doing what y'all doing.
Everybody joining.
Keep doing what y'all doing and learn about others, but also learn independently about the events that are happening at these current days, you know, because don't just turn on the mainstream media and watch, you know, because it's going to connect your mind to things in the biased way of, you know, viewing or processing. Think about the information in the current events from a place of love as well. Right. Everybody's not going to do what you want to do. Everybody's not going to respond and react the same way that you're going to respond and react. That's okay. That's fine. It's not something that says that they don't care about you more because they don't do things by the guidelines. It's not to say that they don't love you more because they don't do things by the guidelines of the current days. No. Everybody has an individual decision to make and live based on they experience and the way that they want to do things. Carter, what do you want to say? I'm out. We out. What do you want to say? Say something? Yeah. All right, he doesn't want to say nothing. So that's good. That's how he's playing shy on y'all now. All of a sudden, he want to talk and do all the other stuff. Now he's shy.
No, I'm not. I'm playing Call of Duty.
Oh man, he's playing Call of Duty.
Out
while I'm out. You know what I mean?
Blowing stuff up. We need to have this conversation. Push him away. We need to talk about some violent video games. We need to put you on blast.
No, we're going to have to do an episode of childhood programming. You know, I talk about child programming all the time anyway. You know what I mean? And, you know, cars of these days, man. I think I'm one of the worst fathers out there, really.
No, you're not. I beat you. No, you're not.
You got me beat on the technology.
I got you beat. Oh, I'm horrible. Well, I don't know how my kids turned out good. I have no idea. They should have been crazy and nut jobs. I don't have the stuff that I used to do. Like people like, oh, gee, you're such a nice man. You do such a God, bet you're a good father. And I'm just sitting here like, they have no damn idea. Them kids
they got me. The struggle's real, man. The struggle's real. But you know, it's an everyday process. You know, we learning as we go. You know what I'm saying? But one love to everybody, though, man. One love to everybody. One love, one family, one world, one life. You already know we gotta do it together.
All in it together. It doesn't matter who you vote for. It doesn't matter if you don't vote. You know, we're all in it together. We're either gonna thrive or we're gonna die. It's really that's just how
you already know.
But don't let people you don't know turn you against people who need to be your allies and the struggles your children are going to have to face. So this is Gerard and Chris Lewis on whatever the name of the hell this show is. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much, brother. Love you now.
Peace out, bro. Peace and love.